Welcome to the Wanderers History Podcast, and to the final episode of the mini-series Ottoman Titans of the Mediterranean, where I discussed about some of the most important military figures of the Ottoman Navy, vital cogs, mostly to Suleiman the Magnificent's Mediterranean campaign, that was continued to a certain extent by Sultans Selim II and Murad III. We talked about Piri Reis, Hayreddin Barbarossa, Dragut Reis, and Piale Pasha. They will be mentioned in today's episode as the naval commanders in discussion were friends, rivals, and in some cases family with the aforementioned protagonists of the previous episodes. To begin with, Kemal Reis, who was Piri Reis's paternal uncle, having accompanied him during numerous exploration missions. Trusted by Sultan Bayezid II, Kemal was part of the 1487 Ottoman effort to defend the Emirate of Granada, one of the last Muslim strongholds in Spain at that time. In 1495, he was made admiral of the Ottoman Navy. Kemal Reis would be a crucial part of the Second Ottoman-Venetian War, winning the decisive battle at Zonchio in 1499 against the Venetians. Later on, we would see him in 1501, along with Piri Reis, sailing to the Tyrrhenian Sea, and he captured the island of Pianosa in the Tuscan archipelago. From that point, he later attacked in August of 1501 Sardinia and afterwards Majorca. Moreover, he ventured into the Atlantic, mainly attacking settlements of the Iberian Peninsula. In 1505, he would return to the Mediterranean and attack Sicily. In 1511, while passing near the Duchy of Naxos, his fleet was surprised by a storm which wrecked everything and killed him along the way with his crew. He was an important part of the early Ottoman Navy, especially during the Second Ottoman-Venetian War. Next up, Oruç Reis, brother of Hayreddin Barbarossa. Oruç would establish Ottoman control of northern Africa for centuries to come, as he had been previously ruler of Algiers. The Spanish, however, would react in 1518 by launching an attack on Tlemcen, which was 70 miles away from Oran, and the Spanish managed to corner and kill Oruç. They took possession of the region of Tlemcen, but Oruç played an important role in Ottoman control of northern Africa, especially after Selim I's conquest of Egypt against the Mamelukes in 1517. Another important figure of the Ottoman Navy at the beginning of the 16th century was Kurtoglu Muslihidin Reis, and he was of the same generation as Barbarossa, Oruç, and Dragut. He was a key player in Selim I's conquest of Egypt and Suleiman's capture of Rhodes in 1522. He established strategic points of the Ottoman Navy, such as the Ottoman Egyptian base in Alexandria, but also in the Indian Ocean base in Suez. In a brief addition, I'll mention Murad Reis, who had contributed to Ottoman victories at Praveza in 1538 and Cyprus during the Fourth Ottoman-Venetian War that took place between 1570 and 1573. Occhiali, known also as Uluj Ali, was originally born in Calabria under the name of Giovanni Dionigi Galeni in 1519. Giovanni would be captured by one of Hayreddin Barbarossa's captains and made an oar slave, and he was present in that capacity at the Battle of Praveza in 1538. By 1541, he had converted to Islam and was under the service of Dragut Reis, who we talked about in the third episode of the miniseries. There he would be known as Uluj Ali, and in 1565 he was promoted to the rank of Beylerbey, also known as Chief Governor, of Alexandria. And in the same year, in 1565, he participated at the siege of Malta. Though he did not play an important role at Malta, he managed to transport Dragut Reis's body after the unfortunate accident. His body was taken to Tripoli by Uluj Ali and buried in the Dragut Mosque, situated behind the castle. Uluj Ali had obviously not forgotten Dragut, who had taken him under his wing away from galley slavery. In 1568, under the recommendation of Piali Pasha to Ottoman Sultan Selim II, Uluj Ali Reis became Pasha and Beylerbey of Algiers, fundamentally important position for the Ottomans in North Africa. In 1570, what came to be known as the Action of 1570, which was a battle that took place in July 1570 after 4 Maltese galleys encountered an Ottoman fleet led by Uluj Ali. 3 of these Maltese galleys were captured by the Ottomans and 1 fled. He had been in the good graces of Sultan Selim II, who in October 1571 appointed as Capudan Pasha, Grand Admiral of the Ottoman army, but also Beylerbey of the Isles. After this, he was subsequently known as Uluj Ali Pasha, receiving the honorary title of Kilic, which means sword in Turkish. So by the time the War of Cyprus had commenced in 1570 against the Venetians, and also with Dragut Reis dead for more than 5 years, Uluj Ali found himself in a solid position within the Ottoman hierarchy and navy. At Lepanto in 1571, Uluj Ali commanded the left flank of Ali Pasha's fleet in the battle. He kept his squadron together in the melee, outmaneuvering his direct opponent Giovanni Andrea Doria. Arguably through his escape with his contingent, he prevented the complete collapse of the Ottoman navy, which was rapidly rebuilt in 1572, along with Piale Pasha. He remained in the good graces of Sultan Selim II, and in 1574, Uluj Ali managed to regain Tunis, and in 1584, he led an expedition to Crimea. He died in June 1587 in Constantinople, and he was buried at the Uluj Ali Pasha Mosque, built in 1580, designed by the renowned architect Mimar Sinan, chief architect of Ottoman sultans Suleiman the Magnificent, Selim II, and Murad III. Finally, Muezzinzade Ali Pasha, of Albanian descent, hence his epithet, which translates to the son of a muezzin. He was also a favorite of Selim II, being between 1563 and 1566 Ottoman governor of Egypt. However, arguably one of the reasons for which the Ottomans lost the Battle of Lepanto was that Ali Pasha, a general more accustomed to land tactics, was leading a force comprising of 278 ships, 222 galleys, and 56 galiots in one of the biggest and largest encounters in Mediterranean 16th century history. Not Uluj Ali, who had commanded the left flank at Lepanto, not Piale Pasha, who was still in Cyprus making sure that the allied forces of the Holy League would not land reinforcements to help Nicosia or even Famagusta. Because Ali Pasha had been married with one of the daughters of Sultan Selim II, also combined with the fact that he had no real experience of naval warfare and even his land warfare was quite limited, All of this made Ali Pasha make some staggering mistakes, which included not keeping his lines together, which in turn led to numerous Ottoman ships to be isolated and easily captured. He also had a reckless determination and wanted to go head to head in battle with Don Juan of Austria's flagship, La Real, one of the strongest ships in the Spanish Navy. It ended in the worst possible manner for himself, as he was captured along with the great banner of the caliphs, which was a totem given by Selim II, a banner filled with almost 30,000 golden letters of the Quran, meant to act as a morale booster for Ottoman troops at Lepanto. Ali Pasha would be quickly decapitated. His head would be put on a pike on the La Real, along with the captured banner. Now, Ali Pasha was by no means a master of the seas, like Barbarossa or Dragut Reis, Uluj Ali, or even Piale Pasha. He represented what inexperience combined with nepotism from a far less competent sultan that Selim II surely was compared with his father Suleiman. But also, along with the Battle of Lepanto and his death, it showed that the Ottoman navy was in slight decline by then, and an eventual stalemate in the Mediterranean between Spain and the Ottoman Empire would be reached and signed through the Truce of 1581. By 1581, there was a clear lack of appetite for more warfare in the Mediterranean, especially between Spain and the Ottoman Empire. But a group of fierce admirals that made the Ottoman Navy arguably one of the strongest forces in the Mediterranean, that conquered Rhodes in 1522, most of northern Africa, parts of the Greek archipelago, Cyprus, attempted to conquer Malta in 1565, and expanding as far as the Dead and the Red Seas. These individuals, Kemal Reis Oruç Reis, Barbarossa, Turgut Reis or Dragut, Kurtoglu, Muslihidin Reis, Piri Reis, Piale Pasha, they were feared by European rulers such as the Spanish, Sicilians, Venetians, Knights of St. John, ended up being remembered as one of the most feared military figures of the 16th century naval European history. Thank you very much for listening to this bonus and last episode of the miniseries Ottoman Titans of the Mediterranean. I hope you enjoyed, and please stay tuned as the following miniseries will look at the European counterparts, the rivals of the previously mentioned Ottoman admirals. As a bit of a spoiler, I will say that the Genoese legendary commander Andrea Doria will be the first one to be discussed and examined. Until then, if you can, please hit the subscribe button to the channel that is also available on Anchor.fm, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and many other similar platforms. Until the next time, all the best, and stay safe during these unusual times.